Bonsoir, bonsoir, everybody. So Craig and I have safely returned from our trip to France. So if we slip a little French in on you, I'm probably not, because we tried to use French every so often, and everybody would just look at us and go, "Yeah, we'll just speak English." So that worked out a lot better. So no. So, welcome to the June photo meetings, and I'm glad to see so many people here. And let's see, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Valerie Niemi, and so currently photo chair. And so we'll get started with our meeting here. Let's see if we're working. Are we working? Work? No? Maybe we'll just try. Which one do we want to? Uh-oh, that one doesn't get, that didn't work. Let's try this one. Alrighty. Okay. So, yes. Okay. No. Okay. Right. You think up there? Okay. All righty. So let's see. I see a lot of familiar faces. I think we have a couple new faces here today. That if you want to say hello. Yep. Good. Hi. Is it Excellent. Well, welcome. And I think we had two more. Yeah. Great. Welcome. So I think that was it for our new faces. Okay, so let's move on to reports, and Mike is not here, so we'll just say we had a meeting last month and it was great and move on. And let's see, I don't know, do our photo reps want to say anything? And let me kind of jump around a little bit. Al's not here today, but everyone should thank Al Scheide for all the work he did as our photo rep. He is actually staying on. He's now continuing as a COC board member, so he's not leaving at all. And we'll welcome Craig, our new photo COC rep. So welcome to Craig. Okay. And I think COC had a board meeting, so do you guys want to talk about anything?
And but they are getting quite close to getting funded. It's about a $3 million project. They're renovating the basement and the offices of the building over there.
The construction portion of it is about 1.8 to 2 million. And then we're raising, attempting to raise a bit over another million to kind of increase scope in terms of programming that we can offer, maybe even add some staff positions. We're in the wonderful situation where we're selling out a lot of the events that we have, and the only thing that's really limiting us is me and Nicole working every single weekend of the year. We don't want to be doing that, and so a couple of additional staff positions might be allowed to expand our programming weekends. Hopefully we'll still sell out even if we have extra programming. But
it's okay for just
right now we're getting huge numbers of wait lists, so we want to be able to accommodate as many people as we can.
excellent. All righty. So, okay, Dave, I'm going to Dave, I may be stealing a little bit of your thunder, but let me just talk about this a minute. So we're talking about this coming up. I just had a couple pictures and then we'll go into your report. But Venus and Jupiter, it's going to be beautiful tomorrow, and it will be. So, and we'll have the occultation Venus, they're coming up too on the and that's on the 17th. So I will put those slides up on the email that I send out recapping the meeting and that, so you have those. And also, if you want to check different astronomical events coming up, Wes has a page. You see it down there at the bottom, the monthly messenger, and that lists all the different things, the planets that are visible, different things like that. So you may want that website. But again, I'll have all these links sent out to you within the next day or two. So, all right, now the Bossy report.
Let's see.
Yes.
It's gonna be there on the June vote, it's June 22nd. It is a 0 hourly rate, seasonal hourly rate between 0 and 100.
Okay.
It's it's less than 10. And it's most of the time it's 0. They come from a common 7P Hans Winnigan. 7P, if you know about the naming scheme comments, 7 puts it real early, like in the early 1800s. And it's an orbit of 6.3 years. It was last point in perihelion in 2021. And apparently, when it goes into perihelion, sometimes the planet explodes with meteor material, and you get that 100 CHR comes from. But doesn't happen very often. It happened twice in the 1920s, once in the 1930s. There were some hints of it in the beginning of the 21st century here, but they're not expecting anything in 2026. So don't go out on June 22nd. You know, the meeting. Well, actually, you might, because they never know when one of those pulses is going to happen. I doubt it's going to happen this year.
Supposed to pull into.
Yeah, that sort of gets in the way. So it's not quite the full moon. It's a given by that one attack. Let's see. We have the June Boats, not November. Yeah, the Delta Aquarius are on the 28th and 29th. The ZHR 20, a real nice meteor shower, except for full moon is going to rise about an hour in the radiant, and well, that's pretty shoots that meteor shower. So sad month for meteors. Besides, well,
I can go back. There you go.
Solstice, June 21st, 4:25 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Summer is 93.65 days long. It's the longest of all the seasons. The earliest sunrise will be on the 14th of June at 6:11 in the morning. And the latest sunset will be on the 28th at 9:09 p.m. So the earliest sunrise and the latest sunset do not occur on the solstice. They're right before the weekend. If you want to know why that is, take a look at the analemma out of the sundial, and you might have good beginnings of a hint of how that works. The Earth will be going through aphelion on the 6th at 94.499 million miles. So at the Earth is moving more slowly around the sun during aphelion, thus the lengthening of spring and summer. Aphelion on the 6th of June, or sorry, 6th of July. Now, there was a bunch of noise last month about blue moon. I mean, on the news and such. And of course, everybody thinks blue moon is a month with 2 full moons. And wrong. Blue moon can only occur in May and August. It's the 3rd moon of the season that has 4. Doesn't happen maybe once every 3 years. And it wasn't last month. You know, there were 2 full moons in the same month. Doesn't happen. Only in spring and summer are long enough. Everybody mentioned that summer is 93.65 days long. Spring is slightly shorter. So if you want to get winter is too short. It's like 88 point something days. It's too short to have 3 full moons and a little few extra hours that you need. Fall, there's a rabbit hole I want to go down. I'm going to ask you to fall is long enough if you have a full moon about 3 hours after the autumnal equinox, that's right. And you have another full moon about 3 hours before December 21st. It's got to sit in there just right. And it doesn't happen very often. The moon also has to be near perigee, so it's moving quickly for those 3 months.
So it happens once in a blue moon, right?
That's really what. But I got my data file. All in that red hole, and you might not see me for a couple weeks. This one, the new moon on the 14th, and full moon on the 29th, we call it strawberry moon. I don't know why. The new moon July 14th. And then in the evenings, I get all these times about 10 o'clock in the evening. So that's typically when people are going to observe this time of year. That sun doesn't really set until 9 o'clock, and it doesn't get dark until 9:30 or later. So if they're about 10 o'clock, we'll do some observance. On the 9th, we got Jupiter and Venus and Castor and Pollux. And if you were asleep last week, you missed 5 or 6 wonderful days to see that conjunction, conflagration, and all of the objects. On the 12th, we've got Mercury joining the party. Yeah, Mercury's climbing up there. We got Mercury, Jupiter, and Venus. Mercury's going to be at magnitude 0.6. Venus is at -4. So you got to shield your eyes and look at Venus. Pollux is going to be at magnitude 1. Mercury is actually brighter than Pollux. That's going to make it easy to find. Also, they're going to form an equilateral triangle. Yeah, Mercury, Jupiter, and Pollux are going to form, they're 7 degrees apart, each of them. You can form an equilateral triangle, and it'll be really easy to find Mercury. One, I've already said, 1 out of 100 people have seen Mercury. 1 out of 100 people who have seen Mercury knew it was Mercury. And it helps if you find, looks like you're Bruce, besides. It's fine, Mercury. It looks like an airplane landing in Greater Cincinnati. It doesn't do that fast. On the 15th of June, Mercury will reach its greatest elongation, greatest eastern elongation, and it will be at its brightest for this go around. Mercury is when the solar system works. Mercury's coming up behind the sun, moving around. So once it reaches its greatest elongation, it passes in front of us really quickly. So it'll be gone really probably by around the 19th or 20th of June. On the 16th, right after it goes through greatest elongation, the moon is going to sweep right past. They'll be about 3 degrees apart, about 10 degrees above the horizon. So you need a clear western horizon and clear skies. The other requirement. The 17th is when the moon will join Venus and Jupiter, and moon and Venus will be 2 degrees apart, and Venus and Jupiter will be 8 degrees apart. And Jupiter is really kind of sinking down, approaching its disappearance later in the month, early next month. And the 17th, moon and Jupiter, 10 degrees apart by 10 p.m. So add that conjunction, 10 degrees. But it's always nice to see a bright object, whether it's a star or a planet, not too far away from the moon. Take the binoculars out and take a look at it to see how they're related to that. Easy to find. On the 17th, also, the moon is going to pass through the beehive. It's really going to be a good solid whack to the beehive cluster. 0.6 degree separation from the moon in the center of the beehive cluster, which is at least the size of the full moon, if not bigger. Nice little tight cluster. Spin out there. The moon will be 15 degrees up at 10 p.m. So you need that clear western horizon, clear shot to the western horizon. Not like the sycamore trees out there in front of my house. So I can't see west at all. Venus on the 19th will also be in that party, 0.4 degrees away from the center of the cluster at 10 p.m. So keep an eye on Venus where it's going. Get your binoculars out to see the cluster, the beehive cluster, because it's a bunch of stars, right? They're not necessarily bright, but together they're bright. And then even 7 by 35 binoculars, it's a wonderful sight. The 23rd, the moon is going to get a little spike up. 2.3 degree separation. It's going to be 36 degrees up in the sky. So I'll be able to see it above Sycamore tree. It's in the southeast, yeah. On the 25th, Mercury and Jupiter will be together again, 4 degrees apart, but they're going to be really low in the sky. The 9th of July will be the next month before the next meeting. Venus and Regulus are going to get pretty close together, about 1 degree separation for 2 moon diameters between Venus and Regulus. That's at 10 p.m. Then by the end of the month, at the end of June, Alberio will be rising. Alberio is always lots of fun to look at. It's double colored, it's double star, 2 different colors. It's going to be 30 degrees up at 10 p.m. where you can see it's off the eastern sky. M13, also sort of in the eastern sky, but it's going to be 40 degrees up, so it's going to be easy to see. And M13 is always a treat to see. Even with a little binocular, you can get a good shot of the Hercules cluster. If you got any aperture greater than that, it's a fantastic cluster to look at. It's the largest of all the clusters, globular clusters. And the summer triangle will be chasing Hercules up later on in the month of the year. And Sagittarius and Scorpius also right there behind the summer triangle. They'll rise a little later. You can wait until July. They'll be a little higher in the sky, but that's where you got the galactic center. And there's just a slew of nebula and globular clusters and open clusters all through the center of the galaxy. So that's something to look forward to next month when it's not going to be cloudy. The rest of this week doesn't look good. Next week is bad, but we'll see.
Thank you, Dave. So, looks like we've got a couple more people. We'll let them in and sit down here as we're moving on. Okay. Oh, Maestro. I'm going to let you do this. I don't know. Anybody watch Celebrity Jeopardy? Sometimes. Well, actually, the observatory was actually part of Jeopardy. There was a category called, it was something about John Quincy Adams, and we were the $1,000 question.
That's what I said too. In Manhattan, it's Central Park.
Yep,
It has a stranger's gate. Mina, back to you.
Sure. Casting JQA 1000.
Tony Hopkins only got a nom, but JQA's last speech at the Cincinnati birthplace of American astronomy, will get Toby Jones his Oscar. Katie.
What is observatory?
Correct, for 1,000.
Okay, let's do non-Hollywood stars for 1,000.
Okay.
Twinsies, make no mistake, these are the 2 brightest stars in Gemini. What are Castor and Pollux? Katie?
Non-Hollywood stars for 400, please, Ken.
Lighten up. Don't be so. This binary star in Canis Major. Actually, it's plenty light. 25.4 times as luminous as our sun.
Whatever, I'll try
Katie.
it. What is Alpha Centauri?
No, I'm sorry.
Oh, I shouldn't have tried it.
I like taking the shot. Lisa Ann or Mina? Don't be so serious.
Of course. That's where I work.
Oh,
It's true.
that's true.
That's rough. It really is.
Katie, we just have the top row left.
Okay, let's do repetitive pop culture for $200.
Okay. Well, we'll skip that, but I'll tell you, when they go to do the last of the non-Hollywood stars, Lisa Ann, she goes, my father was a NASA astrophysicist. They knew none of them. So, and we couldn't figure out why they used this building for the observatory. We're going, we don't know, the big one.
Show the garbage cans.
Yeah, that's good to show the garbage cans. See, I guess we're going, maybe they didn't want to show the big building because it looked too much like an observatory, would give it away, but you could have used that picture, right? Like the one John Quincy Adams laid the cornerstone for. But anyway, so that was the observatory and Jeopardy's claim to fame there. For our upcoming presentations, I know there's a lot on this slide and I'm not asking you to read all that. I just want to point out the pieces in white for our September picnic. We've added where John Ventry is going to bring his meteorite collection out of safekeeping, and we'll have that here as part of the picnic. So I think it'd be an added incentive to come. So it'd be a good time to come get together, but to see John's collection, it's magnificent, really is. And we've added February and March. February is Jerry Black, and he's doing a talk with the SpaceX Starship. And then March is a Christopher Johns Kroll, and he's doing the quest to understand planet formation. He likes to do that kind of research. He's from Rice University, so he came highly recommended. And so I wrote to him, and he wrote back right away and went, yes. And it's like, and I'm so excited that I can go, I'm sorry, we can't fit you in until March. He's coming back. If he ever, and hopefully he will be doing the July meeting, said he's not real communicative, so we'll work on it and we'll have a backup plan, so it'll be fine. Oh, and of course our upcoming classes, we've got June 13th, which is actually a Saturday for a change. So we've got that. And then in July, there's a series that Nicole is doing on space ethics. Do you want to talk a little bit about what space ethics are?
So she actually teaches the course over step in the course of Peter, so the professor there. It's really great. Talks about, you know, justification for why should we explore space, use of resources to do that as opposed to doing things back here on Earth. Obviously, we're a biased crowd, but the conversation that she generates is usually really good. Also, you know, ethical implications of exploring some of these worlds that might possess like microscopic life, right? We get excited about Europa Clipper is on the way. But if these places actually have some sort of life, are we risking contaminating it by sending our probes out there? All sorts of different cool questions that normally you would think of. And she's got a master's in philosophy, so she's got the background to be able to explore in detail.
Great. That's it. And then June 20th is the summer solstice program. So that'll be here too. So just lots of different things happening here, and always, you know, check out what the different events are. No, apparently not. Okay. And remember Stone Lick, that'll be this Saturday. And then in July, we've got the 11th and the 18th. And remember, that's always free. So head on out there. You can bring your telescope or use someone else's when you're out there. So that's a nice time. And they'll stay out there as long as people are out there. So they've got permission from the park to stay open as late as they want those nights. And Alcon, so I've talked about it before, and I'll keep talking about it until August comes up. And what happened is the photo exec committee decided that, being that this is the astronomical event for the country, I mean, people come from all over the United States to come to this Alcon convention, that we needed to have, photo needed to have a table there. So a lot of the exec committee is signing up to do it. We thought we were just going to do it one night. They said they really want us to do it as much as we could all 3 nights. And I said, I'll do what we can. So I have a sign up sheet here if people would be willing to do it. I figure just like a 3-hour increment. You don't have to put down the exact time yet. If I just know what days, we'll do it. And just so I pass this around, it doesn't come back to me as a blank sheet. This is really not a scary thing. You've been to these kinds of conventions and that before. People are just coming by your table and looking. You're not having in-depth conversations with people. You don't have to know everything about this observatory. You're talking to people for about 30 seconds. You just want to say, have you been to the observatory? Did you know we're the birthplace of American astronomy? We'll help out. We'll give you a sheet with like 10 talking points. It's really not a harrowing thing at all. And I think you may have a good time, and it gets you in to see all the exhibits. If you want to go to any of the Alcon talks, You still have to sign up for tickets for that. That's not included, but you would be in the exhibition hall. So hopefully we have some people to help out. Like I say, some of us are already signed up, but if I can get some more people interested, that would be great. And if you don't sign up now, I'm sending it around next month too. And just a reminder again, the photo business cards, take some that you can pass out to friends, family, anybody you talk to. Just a good way to promote us, and it gives links to the photo website, the observatory, and just reminds people that our meeting is the second Monday of the month. Our planning meeting was June the 18th coming up. We're getting kind of bounced around with all of the stuff going on here at the observatory, and I was hoping that we were going to be able to use the trailer, but we're not. So I think the secret location is going to be our house. So we will be meeting there, and we'll have a link for people who want to join remotely. So that's always a good thing, and that's where we come up with crazy ideas like this. So maybe you want to get in on that. And we'll go ahead and take a break now. And when we come back, we will have tonight's presentation.